Yeah, you just lost it then, yeah.
I was like, forget it,
Yeah.
I'm not watching this again.
How old were you at the time?
I was,
You were a young person.
yeah, I was,
So you didn't understand what farr was all about.
I had no clue and didn't care.
You didn't know that Spock was in heat.
Didn't care either. It was a fact.
Once every 7 years.
Yeah, well,
And well worth waiting for, I can guarantee you that.
I'm quite sure of that, dear, but it was the ideal that,
Did you know that was the first time "Live Long and Prosper" was spoken in a Star Trek episode? You didn't know that.
No.
Now you know it, see? That's right. And the first time this ever happened, remember?
yeah, I remember you talking about how that came about. But
Yeah,
I
I've talked
personally
about
can't
it.
do it.
Yeah.
I personally can't.
Yes, you can. If you practice, no. It didn't come easy to me either. It takes years of diligent practice and self-denial to get to be able to do that with your hand. And Bill Shatner can't do it. He cannot do it.
He doesn't need to. He's not a Vulcan.
About 3 days after that episode went on the air, amok time, I was in Cleveland to do an appearance, and I was being driven to an appearance. We stopped at a traffic light. Car pulled up beside me, and a very pretty young lady waved at me like that. And I was curious, I was intrigued, and I rolled down the window, and I said, "Can you do it with your left hand?" And she got about like that. She said, "I'm sorry, I speak it with an accent." Okay, another question. Thank you. Hi. Next in line, yes.
Hello.
Hi. Wow, both hands. Good for you.
Yeah, I've even taught the 4-year-old next door to do it, and he can actually say it with a speech impediment.
Yeah.
But I love your photography. Thank you so much for your last book. Where did you find your inspiration?
And what?
Your inspiration for the
My
last
inspiration for the photography?
Yeah, the last
Ladies.
book that you had with the big ladies.
I do a lot of
love it.
photographies of beautiful
Thank you.
women, yeah.
Yeah,
Go to my website. Have you seen the
That's
website?
amazing. Yeah, I have.
LeonardNimoyPhotography.com.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that an amazing name for a website?
Yeah, it is. It's just so great. It's so great. It's so great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
making this beautiful.
So what's your question?
That was it. I just wanted to say, how did you...
Oh, well, yeah, my photography is conceptual. If I get an idea for a thematic idea that I want to work on, I pull out the cameras and I go to
so
work.
tired of seeing these skinny bimbos in pretty pictures.
Yeah.
I want to see real women and like the rest of the world.
Take a look at the website and go to the Full Body Project.
Yeah, that's
The Full
where
Body
I've been.
Project. That's
and that's
it.
the book that I love.
Those are real people.
That is. That's
Aren't they great?
fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Hi, how are you? You too. Good for you. All right.
Once upon a time, you
Can we give away prizes to people who can do it with both hands? What do you think? There's a lot of them. Okay. Yes.
once upon a time you did some voice work for a video game called Civilization 4, but there was an expansion of that video game and you didn't do any voice work for it. Why is that?
I didn't do what for it?
Voice work.
I didn't?
No.
Why not? I don't know.
I'm asking you.
I do voice work if they ask me. If they don't ask me, I don't do it.
Oh, okay. So I
That's
guess
the way
I
it
just didn't
works.
ask you.
The phone has to ring and they say, "Is this Leonard Nimoy?" "Yes." "Will you do some voice work?" "Yes."
Okay.
That's it. Thanks for your question. All right. Next. Hi, how are you? I'm meeting the nicest people here today. They're all nice people. Thank you. Thanks for coming out. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Hi.
When I first became interested in Star Trek, my local bookstore had a copy of I Am Not Spock, and you tell the story that you repeat in I Am Spock about being in a grocery store.
Yeah.
And I believe the town, you can correct me, was Hickory, North Carolina,
Yeah.
where the mother introduces you to the son
Yeah.
as Leonard Spock.
She said, "This is Mr. Spock." Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in the county over from Hickory, North Carolina.
You grew up where?
In the county next to
The county next to
Yeah.
where?
And I had an aunt who lived in
In
Hickory,
North Carolina.
And in
Oh, you have an aunt that lives in Hickory?
An aunt who lived in Hickory.
Wow.
And I told my parents
Yeah.
that they should take me to Hickory. I didn't need to have a reason.
Yeah.
We could go to the mall, we could go to the grocery store, we could go see my aunt,
Yeah.
because there was a chance that Leonard Nimoy would be in the grocery store. So I I wanted to know for about 30 years, and I know this took place probably mid-70s, what were you doing in Hickory, North Carolina, which is about that big, way smaller than Tulsa?
I was probably speaking at a college there. I've spoken at a lot of colleges around the country for about 10 years. And I suspect if I was in Hickory, North Carolina, is there a college there?
There's a small college called Lenore-Rhine.
Could be, could be.
Yeah.
I spoke at some small colleges in some small towns, had some great times.
I was
I'll tell you,
well
go ahead.
I was well into my teenage years before I realized you didn't shop in Hickory very often.
Great to meet you. Thank you. Thanks for your question. I'll tell you, talk about colleges. In the years immediately after Star Trek went on or off the air, it was very hectic for me. People had to sneak me into restaurants through the kitchen, and it was difficult to be out in public a lot. And the phone was ringing constantly, and one of the fan magazines published my home address, so people were coming by and tearing shrubbery off the lawn and stuff. It would get crazy. And one day, I got an invitation to go to a college in Billings, Montana. I wonder if some of you have heard me tell this story, have you? No, good, okay, all right. If you've heard me, listen again, it's a good story. Billings, Montana, to go speak at a college. And I thought, I'm going to do this because it's a getaway for me. It's going to be nice and quiet and peaceful. I'm going to speak to some students. I love speaking to college students. I think they're a very interesting audience, and they're great fans. So I'm going to go. So I flew to Billings, and I was met at the airport, and they drove me to a local motel. They were waiting for me outside for me to go in and unpack and take a few minutes to get myself together. I'm in the room not more than 5 minutes, and the phone rang. And I picked it up, and I said, hello. And a young female voice said something like, is this Mr. Nimoy? And I said, yes. Oh, my God! Oh! I said, really you? I got him on the phone. I got him on the phone. Mr. Nimoy, I was so crazy about you. We just love Star Trek, and we just love Mr. Spock, and this is so exciting. I said, wait, just a minute. Who are you? She said, my name is Mary. I said, where are you calling me from? She said, from Denver. Mary, how did you find me? She said, a friend called me and told me you were going to be speaking in Billings, and I thought, I'll try all the hotels and motels. There are only 3. I said, thank you very much. I'm very flattered that you tracked me down, and congratulations on your persistence and your resourcefulness. Thank you so much for getting in touch with me. We appreciate hearing from you. I've got to go. There's some people waiting for me. And I said, goodbye. Hung up the phone. I finished my business. 3 minutes later, I'm headed for the door, and the phone rang again. I picked it up and said hello, and another young female voice said, oh, Mr. Nimoy, is that you? I said, yes. Oh, this is so exciting to get you on the phone. I can't tell you what it means. I said, just a minute. Who are you? She said, my name is Sally. Sally, where are you calling me from? From St. Louis. Sally, how did you find me? My friend Mary called me from Denver. True story. Yes.
Hi. Earlier you talked about how for voice work, you do work if they call you and you don't really seek it out. You were in 2 or 1 and a bit TNG episodes. Did you approach them about doing those, or did they ask you?
The Fringe? Is that what you're asking?
No, TNG episodes.
Oh, which?
Next Generation episodes.
Oh, Next Generation.